This is the first reading vlog that I do, and I just wanted to film an intro to it. I really hope you enjoy, and just come along with me if you want to see all my reactions, everything that I was thinking of, how I felt, while I get into the Grishaverse. And I start with the trilogy of Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. If you enjoy this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I upload videos about movies, TV shows, and books, and sometimes lifestyle too. And with all that said, here you have my first reading vlog. Basically, after binge watching Shadow and Bone both seasons and loving every single minute of it, I decided to start reading the books. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because I heard that it was very much for teenagers and that Six of Crows was so much better. But then I just started watching some videos that I will link in the description below because I think they're very helpful. They helped me actually to decide to start with the whole series, like at the beginning of the whole series, which is the first trilogy. And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm really liking the book. I'm on chapter 4 right now. Some things that I have to say beforehand. I love Mal. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I will discover like how much I love him in the book, but from the TV show I love Mal. But I also love Kirigan and Alina and everyone. I know that here, of course, you won't get any of the characters from Six of Crows because that's the whole point of the show, like putting them together. If you're excited to see how this goes, just go along with me and discover if maybe this is one of my favorite book series of all time and I just didn't know it.
I feel like I'm already emotional about this quote.
So I just finished reading chapter 10 of Shadow and Bone, and I have to say that I'm enjoying this book way more than I thought I would. I think it is a very faithful adaptation, the way that they put it on the show. Of course, I imagine the actors from the show when I'm reading, but I mean, that's great because I like the cast of the show. So far, it has been really good. Everything has been really good. I like Alina as a protagonist. The Darkling is very interesting. Their relationship is great. I think that for me, it was easier to start with the show to understand the world better. If you read this first, not knowing anything, it's kind of confusing sometimes, or maybe you don't know what's going on with the powers, with the Grisha, with the Keftas. I think watching the show first helped me to understand that better. In the book, we only see Alina's perspective of the whole story, and I have to say that Alina misses Mal. I miss Mal because Mal is great in the show. I love him. I know a lot of people don't like him. I've seen that a lot on TikTok, but I do love Mal. I'm fangirling a lot over this quote. I just really think that this book is very well adapted. I'm just finishing chapter 12. I like the explanation on how Alina was pushing her power down. I think in the series she was like, I know that the power comes from pain, so she cut her hand. And here in the book she says that she kind of knew that she was pushing her power down just to stay at Karamzin with Mal, and that's why she was physically weak, because she didn't want her power to show, so she was working too hard on pushing it down, and that's why she felt that way. And now that she let her power out, she started feeling better, and also you could see that in her physique. I still have to say that I'm missing Mal because we don't see him at all. We just know that Alina misses him, then she gets over that feeling, she stops thinking about him at all. Now I'm in the part of the book on where the winter ball thing is happening, and she just thought about him because the Duke of Karamzin didn't recognize her. That kind of triggered her memories about Karamzin, but other than that she doesn't mention Mal anymore, of course, because she's with the Darkling. And about that, I didn't know that they were involved romantically in the book. I thought that was only from the TV show. I don't know why I had that idea, but I'm glad that they are also romantically involved here because it makes so much sense. I'm about to finish the book. I'm starting chapter 22 and I have a lot to say.
Of course, I have to talk about the different pacing between the book and the TV show. In the TV show, everything is faster, and in the book, Alina is in Os Alta for 5 months, and then with Mal in the woods for several days. Their relationship, how they met again, and how they become friends again, everything about that is so different. Like, one example is that book Mal doesn't send any letters to Alina, but he always says that he's thinking about her every day. I think in the TV show, Mal is angry for less time. In the book, she has to explain way more. And also here in the book, they kiss. They have kissed twice, but their first kiss is right before they find the stag, and I think that was a beautiful moment. And another difference with the TV show is that Bagra tries to kill Mal in the TV show when she finds out that he's a tracker that could lead to the stag. In the book, that doesn't happen. They change the events a lot, but I think it works for both things, the book and the show. Another important detail is that Alina asks Mal to kill her in case they don't find the stag first and get the power of the stag, because she knows what would happen if the Darkling gets the power. And I don't know, I just think it's very poetic because I've watched season 2 of the TV show and I know what happens with Mal, so I don't know if that will happen the same in the book. I think they changed more things for season 2, but I mean, if that happens, that would be like full circle, you know? Another thing is that Mercer's is mentioned in the TV show as the dark matter that consumes Grishas instead of fueling them like the small science, and I don't think that Mercer's is mentioned in the book. I mean, the actual name Mercer's, I don't think that it's mentioned. The last thing that I have to say about this is that the Darkling is way more human and understandable and sympathetic in the TV show. Apart from the fact that Ben Barnes is there and he's just so handsome that you cannot actually dislike him. But yeah, his backstory and the reason why the Fold was created is more believable. And I don't know, I just think in the book he's more a villain than in the TV show, even though he's still a villain, but you get it. I don't like him as much in the book, especially in the last parts, because he's been really bad towards Elena and the whole situation, that it feels like it was just a lie, you know? And in the TV show, it kind of feels like that, but you get the backstory, so you know it was for a different reason. So yeah, I like him more in the TV show, not just for Ben Barnes, but
I just finished Shadow and Bone and I have a lot of things to say, and also a lot of comparisons between the book and the TV show. One thing that was different was that there's more interaction between Mal and the Darkling in the TV show. In the book we don't see it as much at all, almost, but in the TV show it's great. I like it a lot. Also, they changed the meaning of Alina's scar, the scar on her hand. I think that was different. I like both scenarios. Honestly, I think for the TV show was so you get a more visual representation of what was going on, and in the book it was more internal, so a lot of the changes that they made were well done, because it was this kind of distinction between like something happening in Alina's mind. So in the book we could explore that more, and I think that part of the scar and her realizing her feelings for Mal in that moment was very meaningful, but in the TV show it worked the way that they put it. And also everything on the TV show was way more epic because of the crows, especially. In this rewatch, most of season 1, I only watched Alina's part of the story. I know that's very wrong because the crows are amazing, but I just did it so I could compare quickly. But this last episode, I watched it completely because it's amazing. And the Make Me Your Villain scene was way more epic in the TV show too. Also, I enjoyed more Mal in the story, and in the TV show we get him a lot more than in the book. I understand why, but I just think Mal is a great character. I really love him. And the last part, I think it was very important. How Alina finishes off like emotionally is very different. In both scenarios, she and Mal go away of Ravka trying to hide, but in the book it's because Alina killed off a lot of people. She did the cut. And I was so surprised because that doesn't happen in the TV show. And the TV show is more like she's the victim. And here she is the victim, but still she made that bad choice. That was the right choice at the time, but it is something that is going to chase her in her emotional journey. So she left the skiff
and everyone there to die, basically, just to get rid of the Darkling. And in the TV show, the Darkling is the one that kills all the people on the skip. That was like a very big difference in my opinion. I just think this book surprised me. The whole thing about me reading the Grishaverse is surprising me, and I cannot wait to keep on going with this series. So yeah, it was a 4 out of 5 stars actually, and I wasn't expecting that, but it was a very good book. I am reading chapter 7 of Siege and Storm, and I have to say that that was a very quick start. Mal and Alina were living on their own, hiding. Then they get captured by the Darkling in a ship. They go and find the seaweed very quickly. They capture it, and then Nikolai, well, here it's not Nikolai yet, he's still Stormhold, but he betrays the Darkling, so they escape. He kind of saves Alina and Mal, and then he's taking them to East Ratka, or was West Ratka, I don't remember. The other side of the fold, basically. So Alina kills the seaweed and she takes the power, she takes the scales, and now she kind of craves more power. She remembers the words the Darkling always said. She is now very sure that she's different and that Mal can see her and how different she is, and she's kind of afraid of that sometimes. Tolia and Tamar are amazing. I love them. I love them on the show and I love them here too. And I have to say that the whole routine on the ship and Alina feeling like at home, like that is a safe place, a safe space for her and Mal, is just wonderful. But also I feel like this is the last chapter in which it's gonna be that way. It needs to change soon, and I'm very excited to see how it goes because it has been very different from the TV show. Alina was to take the Darkling's place and be the leader of the second army, which I think makes sense. Everything makes sense, her and Nikolai's plan. But the whole tour around the villages was okay, a little bit boring sometimes, and the Darkling is not here a lot. Alina and Mal keep being the couple of the book, the couple of the trilogy, but this time Nikolai kissed Alina, and I really like that. I think that would have been great on the show, but at the same time on the show it wouldn't have made sense here because there's a lot more time that passes between some of the events, and in the show it's all rushed. But yeah, I like that part. I finished Siege and Storm, and I don't know, I kept comparing it to the TV show, and they switch a lot of things. A lot of things that are happening at the end of the TV show already happened in Siege and Storm. So I don't know how the third book is going to be. I have to say the whole thing about the fight between Mal and Alina, their relationship, how it was changed, it was hard to read because I loved them, but also Alina and Nikolai's relationship was very well done. So I don't know, I'm conflicted about it. And I gotta say that the Darkling is barely in this book. Like, he's only at the beginning, and then he's only in Alina's dreams that are not dreams. I kind of missed his presence. I needed more of him in this book, and he was barely there. Other than that, Tolia and Tamar are a highlight. They are amazing, and the plot twist with the apparat, I wasn't expecting that at all because that doesn't happen in the TV show. Overall, I think this series, this trilogy, because I cannot talk about Six of Crows yet, but this trilogy has been surprising good. It has great characters. I think that's the highlight, and an interesting world. Also, talking about Genia, I think that was a big difference, but at the same time it kind of is the same except for David's dead. Spoiler alert for the show. I really love them. I think they are just a great match. I just really want Alina and Mal to be happy, but I understand Mal's feelings of having no purpose, only being there for Alina and just feeling betrayed and heartbroken. I get it. And I still like him. I think he is a great character. I don't know why he gets so much hate, but yeah, I liked Siege and Storm, but not as much as Shadow and Bone. I think Shadow and Bone had a better structure. It was just a better story, and Siege and Storm felt a little bit like the middle book syndrome. I think that's what it's called, and I hope it gets better. I'm really excited because I feel like it's gonna be so much different from the TV show. Season 2 was practically Siege and Storm and just this major plot point of Ruin and Rising in the middle.
and twisted. I don't know how to explain that, but I'm just very excited to continue with this. I just finished chapter 10, and I have to say that Alina and Nikolai's relationship is very beautiful and pure. I enjoyed it a lot. I just read the scene where he says, "I love it when you quote me," and it's very romantic. I really, really like them as a couple, and the TV show didn't portray that. Bruno's here. And I get why they didn't do it, but at the same time, I wish... But at the same time, I wish they did, because they are so beautiful. Another thing that I have to say is that the Darkling is not here again. And I just got the information from Bagra about Morosova's past and everything about her and her sister, her mom, but it wasn't completely clear. I mean, it wasn't like the show that she explained everything up till the point of saying who the Firebird is. I think that that was the most shocking thing about it, and I'm not going to be impressed because I already know. But still, I'm very excited to finish this book. I have to say that the first one has been my favorite so far. I don't think that's gonna change because I'm already on chapter 11, and Ruin and Rising has 18 chapters, unlike the other two books that had 23, I think. So I will continue with this probably tomorrow because I read a lot today. But yeah, I have to say that Alina and Mal's relationship being ruined the way that it is understandable, but it makes me sad because I really, really like them too. Jenny and David are a 10 out of 10. I love them here. I love them in the TV show. I really hope that David doesn't die because I don't want him dead. I think he's great and so cute. And also the plot about Genia and the king was good. I hate the king so much here. I think Nikolai's way to deal with that was great. I just really don't care about the king or the queen. They were disgusting and bad. And some of the moments between Alina and the Darkling are very intense. Like, I think the relationship is a highlight about this book. I wish they put that a little bit more on the TV show, but still the things that happen on the TV show are great as well. Finally, I finished Ruin and Rising, and I don't know what to say. I feel like a lot happened because I wrote a summary of the book, and now that I'm seeing it, it looks like a lot, but at the same time I feel like nothing happened. I've got this feeling since Siege and Storm that some things could have been cut out. I guess it's because I got used to the story from the TV show and it was quite rushed. I know that some people didn't like that, but I don't know, for me, I just felt like this was a little slow. The thing that I have to say is that I thought that Alina was going to die. So when she didn't die, I was confused, to be honest. And I also thought that Mal was going to die because in the TV show he dies, but then Alina brings him back with the Mersos, which was bad. And the explanation for him being alive again is very well. I have to admit that I really like that explanation. And their lives after that, how they just get married and go and take care of kids and teach them, and it's just so sweet. I swear that that was the perfect ending for them. I see now that in the TV show they switched everything. So the problem in their relationship that we see in Siege and Storm, they put it in the TV show at the end, now that Mal leaves Alina, just feeling lost and doesn't know what his purpose is. And here in the novels we get that first, and then we get to the end and now they are happy. That's way better for their relationship. The end was so satisfying, except for the soldiers that Alina created. That was the whole point of Morosova's amplifiers, and I guess it was okay, but it wasn't very shocking or brilliant. I just didn't feel that. Also, the Darkling is not here a lot in this book, and I don't know why, but I feel like the book was better when he was more in it. I feel that's also one of the reasons why I preferred Shadow and Bone out of this trilogy. Also, I just got my roots retouched, and I feel like Alina because my hair looks white now. Yeah, it's supposed to be just blonde, but it looks white. But I feel like Alina, so that's a good thing. But I like the end of most of the characters, especially Alina. Her journey was great. I really enjoyed when she had her power, but at the same time you could see that it was consuming her and she was going to become evil like it happens in the TV show. So this ending is really just peaceful and heartwarming, and I really enjoyed that. I guess I give 3 out of 5 stars to Ruin and Rising and Stitch and Storm 2. The 4-star book from this trilogy was Shadow and Bone. It's still my favorite. It's still the one that I will remember the most, but it was just a good read. I really enjoyed the world and the ending. Actually, it was a very satisfying ending. I'm just glad that everyone got to be happy. I'm just a little concerned about Nikolai, but we'll see that in King of Scarves. I forgot to say it, but the Darkling is a great villain, but I love it more on the TV show because of Ben Barnes. Ben Barnes' Darkling's version is a little bit less of a villain. He gets a little bit of a redemption because at the end he shows like vulnerability and we see that he cared for Alina, and in the book that doesn't happen at all. This is the end of the reading blog of the first part of the Grishaverse, the trilogy of Shadow and Bone, and I'm very excited to continue with this series. I'm not going to do it right now, so the next reading blog about the Grishaverse is going to take a little long, but I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you want me to do more reading vlogs, please give this video a like, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I upload videos about movies, TV shows, and books. You can subscribe right here. You can watch more of my videos right here. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.